What's up, guys? Welcome back to NBA Therapy. These are NBA therapists. Nilay, what up?
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up? And this is Shabz. We're back for episode 5, I think. Yeah, episode 5. We just got done with the first round, and we're halfway through the second round. So I thought we'll start with just reviewing our first round picks and how bad or good they were, or how good or bad they were. How do you want to see it? Nilay, do you want to start with that? All right. So let's start with the West, and then we'll quickly gloss over the East because the East was trash.
Yeah, nobody really cares about
Yeah,
this.
exactly. So the first round number 1 seed was obviously Thunder and Pelicans, who got out of the play-in, who still had a game against someone I remember in the play-in before we had made our picks. Kings, right? Okay, so they beat the Kings, and then they were in the first round. And you picked them 4-1, and I was very flabbergasted when you were, because I went back and reviewed it, and you were like 4-1, and I was like 4-1. How come? I thought that was going to be a big series, and you're like, dude, it's going to be the easiest series. And
I thought I picked 4-0, but okay, I picked 4-1.
No, let me just I'll put our reviews here. Can you see it? Can you see it, Nilay?
No. Fingers cut off.
So that was you had picked 4-1, and I had gone 4-2. But I was I was like, come on, man, it's not going to be 4-1. What's wrong with you? And you're like, dude, it's going to be like 4-1, 4-0 for sure. And it ended up being 4-0, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it went. Yeah, it was.
I mean, there's not much to say about the series, right? Like, I kind of guessed it would be like a one-sided series, and it was.
Yeah. I didn't think it would be. I thought seeing Oklahoma in the playoffs for the first time against, but then again, Zion wasn't in there, and Brandon Ingram was like playing on one leg. So, but still, you were very correct on that. Do you have any more thoughts on that?
Like Zion wasn't there, which was a big factor. But even if Zion was there, I think they would have still lost. But yeah, it would have been more closer than.
If Zion was there, I think they still would have lost, but it could have gone to 4-2 easily. Because I don't think, maybe Lou Dort could have been there to defend Zion, but I don't think, AD couldn't defend Zion. So the way he was playing.
It was a disadvantage to the OKC though.
Really?
Because
for Pelicans?
I feel like the reason is that because they have like lack of experience, they didn't really get to play much in the first round.
Right.
And I think it's going to hamper them moving forward because obviously they're going to be playing better teams and they just aren't as experienced. So if they would have had like a more grueling series, it would have been more more experience for them. They would have learned more. They would have probably performed better like moving forward. That's what I think at least. Yeah.
Kind of like the Nuggets. Kind of like what happened to them.
The Nuggets didn't get any practice. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. Like they had a very easy series, and then they faced an actual challenge, and they got smacked in the face. But yeah, we'll get onto that in a second. I also think that, but I also think that like sometimes people argue that a lack of experience is sometimes a good thing. Like you have like naive confidence in you where you just don't give up, and you have like you just keep playing through things, and nothing really, you just like, you get down and you're like, oh no, we can still get it back. But so that was 4-0. You were correct on that. I was very wrong. And we'll move on to the next one, which is a more interesting topic, which is Nuggets versus Lakers. Yeah. And you wanna say something about that?
It was pretty sad because the Lakers led for like, if you look at like how much time the Lakers led between the games, they led for like
70%
of the games.
Like 70%.
And then they ended up losing every single game. And it would have been better as a Lakers fan if they would have just got like trashed every single game. The sad part is they were leading up to like midway.
They gave us hope. They kept
putting us hope, and then they lost. And I don't really mind them losing because Nuggets were the better team. Right. I do like the Nuggets as well. Yeah. But it's just that because I prefer the Lakers overall, I kind of gained hope, and then it was like crushing to see them lose and stuff like that.
It was so sad, dude, when they first got. Sorry, go on.
But yeah, it was really sad because I felt like Anthony Davis played amazing.
Yeah.
I felt most of the team played amazing, Like it's not like Lakers played really badly. You could really pinpoint to any player,
D'Lo.
Sorry?
D'Lo.
D'Lo messed up 2 of the 4 games, right? Like
Well, I would say 3 of the 4 games. I would say 3 of the 4. I was very upset with D'Lo. I'm not happy how lenient you are on him right now. But go on.
I mean, I feel like D'Lo also had more to do on the defensive side to try to stop Murray and stuff like that. So I think he was more exerted overall.
I think that was Austin Reeves, though. I think Austin Reeves took on that challenge, and I think he did really well. But D'Lo was super disappointing. I mean, to be honest, he wasn't disappointing. He was just more predictable, in like for me at least, where I was hoping he would not. I mean, he went 0 points in one game. You can't do that. Like, you can't be talking all this. That was my biggest problem with him, was that not just he didn't perform well, where this was his biggest question. Like, okay, he's playing really well in the regular season. Can he show up in the playoffs? Can he show up against the Nuggets? And I just wanted him to at least be humble throughout the regular season, but he just kept taking shots at Darvin, saying like, oh no, I was benched because Darvin was playing favoritism for Schroeder. I was like, dude, you played like trash. You just need to like focus on the team right now and just try and get better. And if you do play like trash, just own up to it. I think people will respect you a lot more. But he was like pouting on the bench. I don't know if you saw the clip of him when he had the 0 points. He was on the bench checking his phone while everyone was in a huddle during a timeout. Like, that's childish, that's juvenile shit. And that's what bothered me about him.
That's definitely the case, but like even the game where he did play really well.
Yeah, he had one really good game. Yeah.
Yeah, he had one really good game.
Yeah, he had one really good game.
And that's still fine. Like, if you have 1 out of the 4 games for a person like D'Lo, it's still okay, I would say, overall, because you want your 2 star players to play well, and both of them played well.
Right.
Like, LeBron and AD played really well, and it just wasn't enough because they were the inferior team.
We didn't. At the end of the day, yeah, go on. Sorry.
At the end of the day, you just can't say much about that because they were the superior team, so it's fine. Like, D'Lo played 1 out of the 4 games. Yeah, he could have played better, but even when he did play good, it wasn't enough.
Right.
Nothing would have really changed, I would say, at least.
I think the biggest problem they had was that they had no defense, where only AD was there. That's it. That literally was their only defense. And they didn't have any backup bigs for Jokic. And AD was literally like just like every time Jokic was on the floor, AD had to be on the floor. And he was you can't expect LeBron to play that much defense at his age. And they didn't have Vanderbilt. They didn't have Cam Reddish. Taurean Prince played okay. I wasn't mad at him the way he played. He did his part as a bench player. But other than that, they didn't get any contribution out of anyone. And Darvin Ham, dopey Darvin, with his hands in his pockets, Christian Wood, he put Jackson Hayes in for like 5 minutes each. And then last game, Christian Wood was apparently available, and he still didn't put him in. And it's like, well, what's the point? He kept mismatching timeouts and the challenges. And then one time he didn't challenge, LeBron flipped out on him, and the next one he flipped out. Next one he like challenged like in the first quarter. He's like, "What is wrong with you, dude? Like, this is why you can't be a head coach. You might be a good assistant coach."
Now he's fired, right?
So now he's fired. Okay. So it's like, but did you hear his comments about his exit interview or one of those post-game comments?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear that? Okay, no. So this is so bad, dude. Like, this is before he got fired, and they're like asking about his rotations and stuff, and he just goes off. He's just like, what do you want me to do? Like, when you have one of your starters for the first 10 games shitting the bed, and you're like, whoa, easy, Darvin, what the hell? He actually used the phrase shitting the bed. And he's like, what do you want me to do when one of your starters just for the first 10 games was shitting the bed? And everyone's like, who the fuck is he talking about? And we're like, D'Lo maybe, But yeah,
I don't want to focus too much on the Lakers because the Nuggets played really good. Yeah. Like, to come back from a 15 or 20 point deficit.
It almost felt like they were taunting the Lakers, where they're like, we don't even care about you. You can take the lead in the first half. We'll just come back and defeat.
Exactly. And Joker is Joker, but I think Michael Porter Jr. played really well.
Dude, he was looking like fucking
great. Hitting threes,
like he was like looking like Klay Thompson or like Ray Allen, like just popping off screens and just like smacking down threes one after the other.
Exactly. And in the first 2 games of the next series, I'm like, of course he won't do that against Minnesota.
Of course, it's the fucking Lakers effect. Everyone wants to play good against Lakers.
Exactly.
But yeah, so you had 4-2 Nuggets. I had 4-1 Lakers, so I got that correct.
4-1 Lakers?
No, sorry, 4-1 Nuggets. Sorry.
Oh, you had 4-1 Nuggets?
Yeah, and you had 4-2 because you were like being a Laker homer,
Yeah.
I was like, I'll give them one game. Just because it's the first round, I think they'll have a tiny bit more energy than last year. But yeah, so I think that one went as expected as possible. And so next one was what was the next one? It was Wolves and Suns. Well, yeah, okay, my Mavs Clippers. Which you got something to say about that?
Dude, okay, so Kawhi didn't play the last 3 games.
Who could have thunk that? Who would have predicted that? Me.
Dude, like he literally took off. Like he's literally just chilling on the bench because at one point the series was close, right? Like it was 2-2.
Yeah, they won the first one game or the first 2 games. Oh no, yeah,
they won the first game, then they lost 2.
They were 2-1. They were up 2-1 to the Mavs.
Oh yeah, they were up 2-1. So they were in a good spot.
Yeah, right? And the 2 games they won were without Kawhi.
Like, exactly, and I'm like, dude, Rishabh would be so disappointed right now. I'm like, dude, I knew the Clippers are gonna pop off and shit. And then he just decides to take off.
I was so happy you were on vacation because I was like, oh my god, I made all these fucking bold claims about how no one's gonna. I was like, Mavs are gonna beat the Clippers handily. I was like so confident about that, and then they're up 2-1. I was like, oh no, like Nilay's gonna roast the shit out of me.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like so happy because I'm like, okay, you know what, I've been proven wrong. You know, like
exactly.
And then Kawhi Leonard again. I'm like, okay, let him take one game off. Let him take 2 games off. But he doesn't want to come back. Like
no,
he just doesn't. And James Harden, like he really
playoff James. I told you about both these things. I was like, playoff James is a different beast, and Kawhi Leonard, who knows if he's going to be. I was like, he touched knees with Joe Ingles, and he was out for a year and a half. Even if he's coming back, I was like, I have zero faith in the fact that he will play the entire series. And ironically enough, the 2 games he didn't play were the games Clippers won really well, and the 2 games he did play, the Clippers lost. And it was like, okay, maybe Kawhi's the problem. Like he just needs to sit on the bench. And then playoff James shows up, and it was like, because the funny thing is like, I was like, the other thing was like, I was like, Luka goes off against the Clippers every time he's played them. He had such a bad series. He was so inefficient. I don't know if it's the knee. I don't know if it's fitness. What is it? Kyrie went off.
He does look off.
He looks very off. He looks very, very off. Yeah. But so that was that. And I think you had. Let me check. You had 4-3 Clippers, and I had 4-2 Mavs. So wow, who could have thunk that, huh?
Yeah, you got that
right. I've been waiting like 2 weeks for this, dude. I was like, you want to record a pod with me? Because I'm very passionate. I was like, I can't wait to just talk about this one series. Because the next one you're gonna roast me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's go to the Minnesota and Suns.
I kind of shit bet on that one.
I kind of guessed they would trash the Suns. And
right.
What happened. I'm like they're gonna beat the Suns easily, and they did beat the Suns easily.
Well, you picked 4-3, but you still picked Minnesota.
Yeah. I kind of figured like I only gave them 3 because there was Kevin Durant on their team. Not even for Booker, not for anyone else but Durant. But
that's the reason Minnesota I had them winning.
So good that even Durant can't stop that. Like Anthony Edwards is just amazing. Like he's so Kobe Bryant, dude. Like he's so Kobe Bryant. Like,
or MJ.
I've seen him, like the way he shoots, the way he talks, the way he moves. I just love it.
I love it. He's got superstar intangibles. The X factor.
Definitely.
The it factor.
And the way he takes his shot selection is just amazing.
It's amazing, dude. Like his turnaround fadeaway is so fucking gorgeous to look at. It's so perfect, and he like shoots it so way above his head that it's like almost like you had. I mean, I'm gonna jump a little bit into Nugget series, but even when he was getting double teamed by someone like Michael Porter Jr. is 6'10", he's coming to double him, and he just turns around and fades away on him, and it's just gorgeous, dude. Yeah, but I picked the Suns on that just because out of respect for Kevin Durant. But we both had 4-3. You had Minnesota winning. But 4-0 is something I don't think either of us could have. I was just like, this. Because the funny thing is, in that same video, we had a segment on any faith in the Suns. And both of us were like, dude, no way. We have no faith in the Suns. And I still moronically picked the Suns to win because I went back and watched the video. I was like, I said I have no faith in the Suns, and then I ended up picking them against Minnesota. I was like, what's wrong with me? But then again, I didn't expect. The thing was like my arguments against Minnesota was like there were legit reasons to not be fully confident. Where Anthony Edwards is 22, right? I was like, he could have some good games, but he'll be inconsistent. I don't like Cat at all in the playoffs. I thought he would get in foul trouble within like the first 5 minutes. and he was coming off of an injury. So I was like, I don't know how that they're going to be integrated. We've seen Rudy Gobert be Defensive Player of the Year on a number one team in the West and still flame out in the playoffs when he was in Utah. So I was like, I don't know, and they seemed like an immature team where Jaden McDaniels last year didn't play because he punched a wall, which happened again with another of their players later on this year. But Naz Reid, I was like, he goes off against the Lakers, but who the fuck doesn't? So I was like, I don't know if he's gonna manage to do that, but yeah, they were fucking amazing. I gotta hand it to them. Really so yeah, that's our West roundup. A quick wrap up. We'll quickly just mention the East, and then we'll just quickly talk about our the second round, and maybe we'll make some newer picks.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So first we'll just quickly go through the East. Celtics Heat 4-1. Funnily enough, we both had what's it called? We both had Celtics, but we both had Bulls playing instead of the Heat because we were like, we'll give it to DeRozan since Jimmy Butler's out, and we are like, oh, okay, we forgot how trash the Bulls are. And so we were okay on that. Yeah, I was surprised that they got what's it called? They even Heat got one game. I am very, very, very disappointed in. I think the Celtics should be ashamed of themselves for the way they're playing.
I think the thing is when the Celtics are a team where until they do not get like a good matchup, they do not perform and they take things too lightly. Like even this current series, if you note, like I'm going to go into the second round. Like they lost the second game against Cavaliers. Like how is that possible? And they're like way better than the Cavaliers.
They, as a team, they've always been better. Even last year, they were supposed to be the more talented team against the Heat. And I mean, Jason Tatum in the clutch, all those questions we've been saying, like, I've been making excuses for him. He's not performing. He's their third leading scorer so far. Like, Jaylen Brown's been playing. Derek White's their fucking savior. He's a godsend for them, the way he's been playing. And because they're lucky, he has a personality which is like a star in his role player, so he doesn't have an ego. But, I mean... Jason Tatum should be ashamed of himself at this point. I picked him to be a sleeper MVP because of all the talks that were happening. And I was like, oh my God, I just keep looking stupid after, like, more and more. The more faith I show in this guy.
When the time comes, he'll shine.
Okay. We've seen this happen. He's been in the playoffs. Like, he's been in the conference finals for every year.
He will.
Eventually. I've been saying this for like 3 years. This is like how you were picking the Clippers. Where you're like, you know what?
This is the year. Something will work out.
This is the year. And I'm like Jason Tatum, this is the year. Even last year, I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, well, they are still young. He's like, dude, stop it. They should be ashamed of themselves the way they play. They're embarrassed. They fucking let the whole city down, And I was like, yeah, okay. But yeah, so for
there's not much to say with the rest though. Like it was pretty. The Bucks like completely collapsed.
But yeah, I had you had Bucks winning though 4-3 even without Giannis. I had Pacers going 4-3, but they went 4-2. Dame should be a little disappointed in the way he's played, even though he was out for a game or two, but still he didn't perform all that well. Sixers and Knicks were slightly an okay game just because Knicks were so great. You had full faith in them. I picked Sixers because I was like, I don't know who's gonna stop Joel Embiid, but then I forgot Joel Embiid will stop Joel Embiid. I totally forgot that he does that,
Exactly.
Last year was a 38-year-old Al Horford stopping, and this year was Hartenstein. Their second big Mitchell Robinson couldn't play. Like he played like 10 minutes, and I was like, Hartenstein's not gonna stop. I was like, they have no one.
Dude,
I didn't even mention him. Jalen Brunson's going off.
Yeah, he's like the leading scorer, right, in the playoffs so far.
I think so. Yeah, he's had like 4 40-point consecutive games. Yeah, and then the one game before that he had 39, and then the one game after that he played only 3 quarters and he had like 29 points. And I was like, is he going to be able to keep this up? He's like, Tibbs is playing them like 48 minutes. I was getting like Derrick Rose flashbacks. I was like, please, tip it out, like just chill out. There's like more series to go on after this.
Exactly.
But yeah, I picked. I had Sixers going 4-3. You had Knicks going 4-3. So you got the hat off on that one. And then we had Cavs and Magic, which I guess was the more interesting series, but I don't think anyone watched that. I think.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I don't think no one watched. I literally just skimmed through those. I was like, oh yeah, this was the most exciting series in the whole conference, and no one watched it.
Yeah.
And we both
That's
had
the problem
Cavs.
with the East, though. The
Yeah.
East is like there's just a few good teams, and you really don't care much about
Yeah.
them because you know they're gonna win. So you're like,
And the teams that were supposed to be good, all the stars were out. Giannis was out. Dame was kind of out. Embiid was not himself again, and Celtics were playing.
So
like,
this is like the freest Boston is gonna go to the finals. Like I don't.
Well, let's see. I don't know what Cavs are gonna do to them. Donovan Mitchell might go off.
If anything, the Knicks will go. I think the Knicks will get
Knicks have like 6 players left, dude. Like, I don't know how they're going to win. They have OG out, Mitchell Robinson out.
They'll just play 48 minutes. Like,
yeah, exactly. Josh Hart's playing 48 minutes. He's averaging like 50 minutes a game. I don't know how. It's like without overtime, he's still playing 50 minutes a game. He's grabbing like 20 rebounds a game. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Exactly. When he was at the Lakers, like nothing.
Yeah, exactly. But he was like still young, man. I hate there are people going like, oh, you see Laker fans, like you see what Josh Hart is doing. I was like, he's not better than AD, dude. Like, I was like, it was okay to include him in that package. Like, that's why he was in the package for a guy like AD. People knew how good he was. They're like, see, Laker fans never appreciate their players. They're like, we did. That's why we threw him in the package to try and get AD.
Yeah, but come on, 80 is 80. Yeah.
Of course, and they won a championship. And AD played. Yeah. I think AD was one of the best players so far in the league in the playoffs.
If you actually look at it, he was definitely the best. One of the best players.
Offensively and defensively. Good. Yeah, he was amazing, dude.
If he wasn't playing that good, like the series would not even be close. Like,
yeah,
I know the score 0, but it would not even like it would just been a one-sided match every single.
It would have been a complete wash.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was the East. We just wanted to gloss over that because it was complete trash. And one thing quickly about the first round matchup. For first round was that, funnily enough, in the Western Conference, like all the games felt like so close, and like it was like they all felt super exciting. But if you look at the way it all turned out, it actually turned out like a first round bracket would. Like all the higher seeded teams won like 4-1, 4-2. And I was like, I'm sure some games went like longer. Like, it felt like that. Like when we were watching it, it was like 4-0, 4-1, 4-2. 4-2 was the only longest series that went. Everything else was 4-0, 4-1. Exactly. I was like, okay, I guess your seeding is your seeding then. No? Yeah, the better teams won. But
actually, no, the Clippers, right? Were the Clippers the high seed?
Well, 4 and 5 is okay. And I hesitate to call them the better team in any shape or form.
I just meant higher seeding.
Yeah, right. For 4 and 5 is okay. They're pretty much the same thing. But yeah, so that's our first round wrap up. Second round, we had our second round. Just because we just talk about it quickly, we won't go over our previous predictions. We'll just make man. Who you got? Minnesota Nuggets. You want to start with the East?
Yeah, let's do the East.
Yeah, we'll quickly do the East. So Celtics and Cavs, who you got? Boston's got 2-1 right now.
I got Celtics still. I still got Celtics. I think they're going to win 4-2.
4-2?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I might go 4-3 Celtics. I think Donovan Mitchell could go off and force a game here and there. Just like he did with the Nuggets in the bubble where he had like 58. I mean, they still lost, but they were up 3-1. So I think I'll go Celtics as well, but I'll go 4-3. Right. And then Pacers and Knicks.
That's a good series. I think the Knicks are going to win. The Knicks are going to win 4-3.
4-3?
Yeah.
I'm still inclined to pick the Pacers just because I'm like, I don't know how many players are going to be left for the Knicks by the end of the series. They've just lost. I don't think OG Anunoby is coming back. They're their best defender. Jalen Brunson, I did not have faith in him to keep doing this, but now I do. I've seen how he is playing, so I think I'll go Pacers 4-3. I think.
Okay.
I think Halliburton is finding his rhythm and he's understanding what to do. I think this is first playoff, so I think he's understanding that he needs to be more of a scorer and less of a facilitator and just take more shots, be more aggressive. And so we'll do. So now we're on to the better one. Let's do Thunder Mavs. Who you got? You saw the game today for Thunder?
Yeah, I saw the match. I saw the game today.
Right.
It was a bit disappointing. Like SGA
for you?
hasn't been performing. Yeah, I know SGA hasn't been performing, and it's to be expected. I think Mavs are the better team.
Right.
I know Mavs aren't gonna win, but just for the sake of picking, I'm gonna pick the Thunder.
Oh yeah, you're gonna go. But the thing is, I still want to pick the Mavs, but the thing is, like, Luka has been playing bad, dude. And every fucking game, he's getting, like, he's limping, he's gimping, he's getting smacked in the face.
That's scary, because if he's playing bad and they're still winning, just imagine if he
starts playing good. And Kyrie, I don't know what his strategy is, where he's just, like, not taking shots in the first half, and then he's averaging, like, 20 in the second half. But I think he needs to change that, because they end up playing catch up. You don't want to play catch up in a second half against a team like OKC, because they're they're inexperienced, they're young, but they're a really good team, dude. Like, they have a bunch of people. Chet is playing really well defensively, and SGA, Jalen Williams is really good, and they have a bunch of good players who are just like they're kind of like a run and gun version of the Knicks, but just like with a lot more energy, because they're not playing 48 minutes again.
Yeah, exactly. So I got 4-3
for OKC. I think I'm gonna go 4-2 for Mavs.
Okay, so you think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think OKC is gonna win the next game, and then I mean this is with the caveat of if Luka like plays on the series. I'm not gonna give him an excuse if he's like on the court but seems hurt. But if he's not playing at all, then it changes everything. But if he is on the court, I'm gonna give them 4-2. I'm gonna give Mavs 4-2. I think Kyrie might step up one game here, and Luka might step up one game. I want to see Luka just be like, I'm the best player in the league. I'm not gonna let these fucking players punk me. This is my chance. I want him to have that game.
I mean, I want to see that from SGA, because SGA was in the MVP conversation and he's not.
He was number 2. But like Luka has been doing this for like 3-4 years, so I like expect him to be a little better, you know. And a quick one thing: isn't it funny that Devin Booker was like this superstar on the rise, and twice when they've had the more talented teams, he's been sunned by a 22-year-old. First it was Luka, and now it's Anthony Edwards. So I'm very happy about that, because that dude was a front-running douchebag. I started disliking.
He does seem pretty douchey out of that.
Yeah, you know? like he won. He got to the finals once, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm the best player in the league," blah blah blah, and he gets flamed out, and he's I just wanted. I forgot to mention it.
No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that for sure.
The best game, the best series.
Yeah, the best series. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to mention
Minnesota
that before the series started, I was gonna pick Minnesota just because I was like, I don't know, like Denver didn't look like Denver, because Jamal Murray didn't have a good series. They played the Lakers and they won, but Joker was looking like Joker, but like Jamal Murray wasn't looking like himself. So I was like, you know what, I might pick Minnesota just because of their defense, and they have like a bunch of people to throw at. And then they went up 2-0, and I was like, well, if I pick them now, like it's just gonna look like I'm jumping on a bandwagon. But so
you get to pick them.
I'm gonna pick them. Yeah, I was so happy that I was like, please win, so I can make a good pick. So who you got?
So you're gonna go. Wait, how many games though?
I got Minnesota going 4-3.
Okay, you got 4-3.
Yeah.
I think Nuggets are gonna win 4-3, but I have a bolder prediction. I feel like the team that wins this next game will win the series.
Win the finals?
Yeah, no, will win this series.
Oh, who wins the next game?
If Nuggets.
Oh yeah, right.
They're gonna go on to win 4-3.
Really?
And if Minnesota wins the next game, then they're gonna go on 4-2.
Because they'll be up 3-1.
Yeah, and I think they'll lose again in Denver and again come back and win it. That's what I think.
Okay. And
but if I have to predict without this, then I would say 4-3 for the Nuggets.
Okay. I got Wolves going 4-2. And here are my reasons. I laid out my reasons why I didn't believe in the Wolves, but here are the real reasons why they can be picked. Anthony Edwards has shown his rise into superstardom. I believe him completely. I think he's going to have 1 or 2 games like he did yesterday, where he just wasn't that great. But I think he's going to continue, because he's a hound on defense as well. That's what I love about him. He's one of the few young superstars who is like completely bought in offensively and defensively. And then they have 3 people to bother Jokic. Like Lakers didn't have anyone.
You're not going to get that much efficiency from Jokic anymore.
Exactly.
Because you have so much size on him.
Right. And they're all athletic bigs, like Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert. Like, and the thing is, like, the main thing is, I always said Jamal Murray is their most important player, right? They have guys like Jaden McDaniels and like Anthony Edwards, like picking him up full court, tiring him out. Like, you know, we were taught this, when the best thing to do if you're trying to tire an offensive player out, you make them just keep changing direction as they're coming up the court, and that tires them out. So if he's not playing well, Joker's going to have to take so much more of a load, and they don't have, this was weird. I never noticed this, but Denver doesn't really have a backup big for Jokic. Like, they don't have anyone. Minnesota has Gobert, Naz Reid.
Minnesota made this team just for them, right?
Exactly. It's the same GM. It's the GM that constructed the Nuggets. Exactly. And he went over to Minnesota. And then even the Minnesota coaches were assistant coaches to Mike Malone. So it's like they were built just for this. And they have like athletic... they have like 3 guys to stop Murray and 3 guys to stop Jokic. And then you throw in Kyle Anderson in there, who's 6'9".
I mean, it's going to come down to like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon have to step up.
But I don't know. So here's an adjustment I think Nuggets could make to make it a little better for them. I think the number one thing they have to do is like they have to let either Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, or KCP bring the ball up. I think Jokic and Jamal Murray needs to preserve their energy, because if they're bringing the ball up, either one of them, Wolves have Jaden McDaniels or Nikhil and Alexander Walker or Anthony Edwards, or either one of them, just pressuring them so much so that by the time they get into their half-court offense, they've expended so much energy that they don't have time to make actual plays. Like Joker can't. This was the first game I saw Joker be Joker. Like I don't even think he had double-digit rebounds in the first 2 games, which I've never seen him do. So it's so that's one thing. And the number one thing is, I think they need to have Aaron Gordon just completely face guard Karl Towns and just get under his skin and get him in foul trouble. I think if Anthony Edwards goes off and scores like 40 and Karl Towns is like in foul trouble or is not playing that well, I don't think they can win. I think they need contributions from both of them. And Naz Reid is the X factor. If he can go off and just keep hitting threes, I think they can sub him in for Karl Towns. But I think those are their only options to just slow down the Wolves.
Yeah, but I feel like if the Nuggets have figured this out and if they can win this next game, they're going to win the series.
Jamal Murray was in his groove last game, but that's the thing. I don't know. I've never seen them fucking mentally unravel like that the way they did in Game 2. Well, Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray seemed like the most cool, calm, collected person. And he's like throwing heat packs on the floor, and I was like, "What happened to you, dude?" Like Joker is just like not like involved, and
I think they were caught off guard. Like
I think so too. Yeah,
they were all over the Nuggets. They were completely over the Nuggets. There was like watching the game. I never saw Joker be so like well guarded that he couldn't perform.
Exactly. Like he couldn't do anything. He was like taking forced threes, and I was like, "This is not Joker, dude."
There's nothing he could do.
And Jamal Murray couldn't hit a shot, and man, that was. I think those are their only shots. But you're right. Obviously, next game is a must-win for Denver. I don't think if they win, I'll go out and make a bold prediction that I think whoever wins the series is going to go ahead and win the championship.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think these are the best teams.
It's not really bold, I guess.
It's not really bold. But the way the Celtics are playing,
and the way the Mavs are playing,
at this level, then you don't really have much competition.
Exactly. I had Mavs winning against the Nuggets if they met in the conference finals, but I don't think if they meet Wolves, I don't think they have a chance with the way Luka looks.
I don't think they could have a chance against Nuggets too. If Nuggets can pass the Timberwolves,
they could.
Their team made to beat Nuggets.
Right.
And if Nuggets can get past that, then no one is stopping the Nuggets.
Okay. Okay. I agree. I still might pick Luka, but we'll get to that in the next round. But man, that was our wrap up. That was pretty good. We made our predictions. We'll come back and look into these. Hopefully, some of us are right, some of us are wrong. Hopefully, you're wrong and I'm right. But thanks for hanging out with us. This was our NBA therapist. I mean, we're the NBA therapists. That was the question I'm going to get into next time. Who is the real NBA therapist? That's all the audience. But yeah, so thanks for hanging out with us, guys. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Nilay had to jump out, so it's just me doing the outro. And like, share, subscribe. This was our first round wrap up, reviewing our picks, and we just went over mid-series second round, made our picks for this series, and then we're gonna come back in a few days and review these picks, and then see how the conference finals. We'll make our predictions for the conference finals. So thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys in a few more days, and we'll get ready for the conference finals. Peace.